That's for our fathers.
Oh, great and wondrous world, how the dice of evolution came up with a surprise to make these tiny particles come alive, come alive, come alive, 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 come alive, alive, alive. And for them to drape all things with a cosmic blanket of meaning, when dust cherishes no memories, it makes you wonder where the man needs a life like air to survive. Man needs a life like air to survive. Man needs a life like air to survive. Man needs a life like air to survive.
So it was a pretty weird morning, I'd say. I woke up at around 7 o'clock in the morning. Didn't get much sleep. Got about 2 hours sleep. In that time, I had the weirdest fucking dream I've ever had. And when I woke up, I lifted up my phone, as you do, and I noticed that my mom had called me twice, and there was one at like 5:45 a.m. of course, and once at again at 6 something a.m. And I knew right away, like I didn't even need to call back to check. Like my mom would never call me that early in the morning for no reason, you know what I mean? So I knew, and based on the dream I had, which will show up in my memoir, in my book that I'm writing. I mentioned that in number 4 there. It will show up in there. Weirdest dream I've ever fucking had. Yeah. But yeah, so no, I knew right when I picked up the phone, like I saw the 2 missed calls from my mom. Yeah, I knew exactly what had happened. And now what had happened was I wasn't in Sudbury for that. And in fact, the last time I saw my dad in person was January of last year. So I saw him on video on Skype. My brother had his cell phone with him on Father's Day of 2013, He was over at the extended care place, and so I saw my dad through video. But yeah, last time I saw my dad in person was January 2013. So and yeah, it was cool. Like I did one of my best card tricks. I did. And luckily, I ended the visit with the way I always did. Is I gave him a kiss on the forehead and shook his hand and told him I loved him. You know, and yeah, I didn't know that was the last time I would ever do that. You know, so yeah, it kind of fucks with you. My dad's second wife, she's the person. She's hated us for us being. You know, me, my brother, and my sister. She's hated us for over 20 years. Okay, all hatred on her part. She never tried to like get to know us, and she became the reason why I fucking hate conservative people. Okay, and conservative ideas because they have no ideas. Okay, their ideas are bullshit, are old fashioned. It was interesting after I did the. After I did the eulogy, I wrote this on Sunday. So, you know, after the strange week with the news, I was, you know, because I live in Toronto, so I didn't really get everything. I got little bits and pieces. So I wrote this. It's a little kind of a personal thing, and my brother probably knows because he's probably been, you know, my dad probably did the same thing. But so here it goes. It's called the back left corner. The back left corner of that old house was always a place where any form of pretended punishment would end. Pretend as in he never really had any intention of punishing anybody. I remember really well. My dad was a little older than I am right now, and me, well, I still had full mobility and control of my legs. And they were strong. And I was so fast back then I could hear the wind snap when I ran. At least that's the way you remember these things when you get a bit older, because, you know, I'm almost 40 now, so, yeah, a bit older. I did run really fast. More than once, I had probably done something stupid and, you know, ended up telling my dad about it. He was a bit upset and tried to chase me. Surprisingly, he was pretty fast around the front. He was pretty fast around the front left corner and would almost overtake me on the run to the back. When I reached the back left, I did the famous 1-foot hop, you know, cartoon style, right? Because, you know, I admit, you know, it was cartoon style, but it always did work. I was moving way too fast to cut that corner on 2 feet. Dad wasn't so successful. Trying to turn, he ended up baseball sliding a few feet. I always knew it. I always knew it happened, so I always stopped. It's funny. It's really funny thinking about the run now. There were times I looked back and I could see him trying to catch me, and you wouldn't believe it if I told you, but he was actually smiling. He had a smile on his face every time, you know. Because I guess he liked to see me run, you know. When I walked back to him and asked if he was all right, he would always say yes, and magically the reason he started chasing me disappeared. So, I guess he just liked to chase me. Sorry. Those moments I knew my dad was losing the strength and speed in his legs, and his balance was going along with it, as is mine. You know, I wondered when I would lose the ability to take that corner. Well, it's now. Like as I stand here, like right now. I thought about it a lot, you know, over the years, and I never did see my dad make that back left corner, but, you know, I think he will now. Yeah, so run, Dad, and I'll chase you when I get there. And that's it. Thank you. After I did that, I found out like a week and a half later that Kathy and her religious Bible black tyrant Bible thumping fucking conservative sister said that, oh, I had no business going up there and talking, right? It's like, even though the Reverend announced me, and when the pallbearers, when they took the casket to the car outside, the Reverend shook my hand and he spent 5 minutes talking to me, and like, I think I did okay. I mean, I was, of course, very, very nervous. This was the hardest fucking thing I've ever done in my life. Then there's the whole hat fucking business. I wore the bowler hat, which you saw there. The hat thing became a big, big problem I thought Kathy liked the hats. I even wrote a blog entry. It was called "An Open Letter to an Old-Fashioned Fool." That's available on Wattpad and on my blog. And where I even, said, "Oh no, well, Kathy appreciated the hat." No, she didn't. I heard about it. It just like my mom's fucking bastard cousin Henry Saint Germain. Yeah, I fucking named you. Okay. What a cocksucker, alright? You know what he thought? He said that my $100 bowler hat, okay, my fine suit there, he thought it was very disrespectful for me to wear it indoors. It's like, you stupid bastard. My fucking dad, okay, when he got married to Kathy, okay, his second wedding, he was wearing a hat the whole fucking time. Okay, he wore a hat. That's where I started liking hats. My dad wore hats. So me and my two nephews, all three of us wore hats, right? It's a sign of respect. Yeah. No, the hats were a problem. The hats were a big problem. But for Kathy, no, we know what you did. We know what you did. After my mom, my sister, and my brother left my dad's room there, and they said, okay, well, because my dad was sort of out for the night there, but they said, no, we'll be back tomorrow. And saying okay, well, we know what she did. We know what Kathy did. She went in the room with her daughter there, and there you go. Told the doctor because she had power of attorney, right? And basically euthanized my dad. So my dad. Yeah, my dad went very, very quietly, no fight, okay? And so he filled out the rest of his dash that way, okay? And, but because of that, I don't, at the eulogy, I had planned out all these things I was gonna say. I was gonna destroy that fucking bitch, right? Because I planned it all out. I had it all written down and everything. But you know what I did? Fuck it. I said, no, I didn't do anything negative, okay, as you saw. I went nowhere negative with it. And I was total class, But it was Kathy who was not class. She just kept her bitching. She just kept it up. And that day at the funeral home, I hugged that fucking bitch twice, okay? Like, I fucking hugged that bitch twice, and I fucking hate her. For all our troubles, my dad, okay, he filled out his dash. That's it. It's over for him. And you know what we got? Kathy decided to keep everything, except she had these at the funeral home. They were on the coffin, okay? This is one of my father's canes. Okay? One of them. My brother has the other. And she gave us these because, she thought, well, we'd use them, right? So at the funeral proper, which was in July, so I went back to Sudbury, and I was dressed up again, right? And then she made a comment about the hats again. So, oh yeah, no, I didn't say anything. And it was just, I'm walking, and she turns around, she looks at me, and she goes, oh, are you using your dad's cane? I said, no, I'm not, because my dad was considerably shorter than us, right? So, like, look at this thing, right? It's too short. You cannot walk with a cane that's too short. So I said, no, I'm not using it, Yeah, no, what a bitch. What I found out too, I didn't even know. At the funeral home, a guy by the name of Ivan was there. We've known Ivan for quite a long time, right? He was there. I didn't know. Kathy has been fucking him for years, right? While my dad was in extended care. Like, I remember the day I left there, the day I left Sudbury, I told my dad, I told my dad I was moving to Toronto. Yeah, and I said, like it, not in these words, but essentially I said, no, I'm leaving the boxes of fucking broken glass in this town, okay, and there's a couple people they're gonna understand what I'm talking about, but yeah, I don't walk on broken glass here. I don't walk on fucking eggshells, okay. I don't have to be careful what I say because people are gonna fucking, get mad at me for wanting to state my opinion. No, I don't. No, leave the broken glass in Sudbury. Yeah. I told my dad this basically. It's really unfortunate that I didn't get to see him a lot. Like I tried to go every time I went to Sudbury. I tried to go, like unless I got sick, which has happened. Like unless I start to get sick while I was in Sudbury, it's like I can go because at extended care, if you're sick, you can't really go in there. So Kathy gave us the canes, but there's some things she can't take away. She can't take away and she can't keep because they're not hers to have, right? So, and that's my memories of my dad. I remember we used to before Christmas, right? So early December, we used to go out in the back bush of my grandfather's property, the farm, and then we cut our own Christmas tree and stuff, and we were cold walking in knee deep snow and fucking but no, my dad would bring some like hot dogs and we'd make a fire and just cook our hot dogs and some marshmallows, whatever, right in the bush like that. So it was cool. It was fun. It was usually me and my brother. No, my dad was pretty cool like that. He did a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's funny too, cause see me, I could swim really good, but my dad, I've never seen him dunk his head underwater. He couldn't do it, right? He didn't like it. He always sort of taught us to, just to be nice to people. So a long time ago, growing up, my dad used to say, to be intolerant of anything is a complete fucking waste of time, right? But I walk around and the only intolerance I see comes from religious people. And the only thing that bothers them is people they claim are religious, they have religious intolerance. Now, I live in Toronto, I live downtown, which, I live pretty much on the outskirts of the biggest gay village in Canada, which has certainly been interesting and certainly has had its moments, And, yeah, hey, get over here, you beautiful gay bastard.
Want to cuddle?
Cuddle? What a fag. Yeah, well, there we go. It's just like that, We've had arguments before. Well, not arguments, but little debates. My dad, I don't know if my dad. I'd like to say my dad was an atheist, but that's probably not true. He probably believed in God. I remember he took us to church, in the early days, and I became an altar boy and all that stuff. And no, I was never molested. I used to have conversations with my dad about God and all that stuff, and say that, like, when I was a teenager, right, my late teens, when I thought I had, gained enough little, like, kind of experience with, like, art and stuff like that, and not experience with everything, because I still fucking, no, I'm still learning, but just in the way of art, where I used to tell my dad, like I said, oh my God, I'm not sure if there is a heaven, right, which there isn't, but if there is, I don't think I want to go there, because it's probably a pretty boring fucking place, okay, because you got all these these fucking evangelicals going up there, right? Because that's where they're going, right? And you want to spend your eternity with these fucking people? Really? No, I don't think so. I'll take hell. Okay, I want to be with the musicians, with the fucking young suicides and all that stuff, because we know they didn't go up there, right? The Bible pretty clear about that. Yeah, no, I think heaven is a pretty boring place. It must be. It must be for sure. So yeah, no, I'd prefer hell. Me and my dad, we had a lot of these conversations. Quite frequently. A lot of these things about God and the fact that he doesn't exist, and it's just really, really funny. I mean, yeah. So I don't know. I can't sit here and say, oh no, my dad absolutely believed, but I don't know. He used to talk about it like an actual idea. So who knows? But I just think. No, but I remember, not in so many words, but yeah, that conversation. Yeah, no, I think heaven is boring. It must be a boring place. Yeah. If I was getting a whole bunch of people together to, we're going to heaven. It's going to be awesome. It's like, join me in heaven. And then when we finally get up there, I get that little thing where it cuts to a big musical number. And then I look at my group and say, well, let's not go to heaven. It's a silly place. It would be just like that. I'm sure of it. I remember, one of my fondest memories of my dad is when he caught me with a girl. That's kind of my fault for not locking the door. And this girl was a self-proclaimed devil worshiper, whatever that means. Okay, but no, self-proclaimed. But my dad opened the door, and maybe I wasn't doing too much of a good job, because he opened the door because he thought nobody was in there. So I don't know, but whatever. As far as I remember, he opened the door, and this girl's like fucking heels to Jesus, all that stuff. And so my dad got an eyeful of a view that an angle you really don't want to, you know what I mean? But like I said, self-proclaimed devil worshiper. But I killed her. I killed her because with the 7 daggers of Megiddo, which is just got to be safe, Yeah, it's weird thinking back as a kid, with my dad, and used to drive all over the place in that Ford. I love that truck, and had that cab on it too and everything. Yeah, it was really, really awesome. I really miss that truck. But it was different, really different being a kid back then. It's like, of course, we had our things where we got a certain age and we thought we were masters of the fucking universe and knew everything, which is, complete bullshit. But these days, oh my God, like if my dad really saw it, really was able to see it in context, it's like, and to see it, the whole thing spread out, like my childhood versus like these millennials, it's like they know fucking nothing. You know what I mean? It's, I like some conversations I have with them. It's like, they got SD cards, and it fits in a little device like this, right? Where they got their whole entire fucking life in these devices. I talk about, our computer days, and saving shit and going to school and saving your file, right, on a floppy disk. What the fuck is a floppy disk? Oh, a floppy disk is a little disk, and, it goes like that. And you put it in the computer and you save. But those were the new floppy disks. But there were old floppy disks. What the fuck is an old floppy disk? Well, the old floppy disks were like big floppy, actually floppy, like that. And then they're like, yeah, but you can't use those anymore. No, you can't use them anymore because the old floppy disks were for Commodores. What the fuck is a Commodore, right? The kids know nothing. They know nothing. So, yeah, no. I didn't even get to talk about the fact that we used to have tapes, cassettes, actual cassettes, and with the fucking, yeah. Some people know. If you're my age, you know. Yeah, press play on tape 1. You know, you got it. Yeah, and the whole load comment. Yeah, you got it. No, it was a much different time, a much better time too. It was no, I liked it. We were yeah, we fancied ourselves the masters of the universe when we were kids too, but we were nowhere near as bad, you know. Oh yeah, shit, I can't forget about this. This is Christmas 1987. Look at that. It's full of stickers now, and but yeah, my dad came through for me. He got me this here. Yeah, really cool. This fucker still works, by the way. And the only thing different is I don't have the original games I had for it, but some of them I got back. But because they were stolen, so I got a whole whack of new games there for, well, new, you know what I mean. Different games. I got a bunch of games. Yeah. Still works. Still works. It's funny, I still think about interesting things to talk about. You know, when I go to Sudbury, when I leave for Sudbury, it's yeah, because I know I'd be going to see my dad, right? And I still want to think of interesting things to talk about. You know, when I'm there at the place, which I hated going to anyway, but. Yeah, no, it's weird. It's weird. Like, I'm still, even now, like, right? Even yesterday, I would say, oh, that'd be good, but, you know, you can't, because, yeah. Yeah, no, it's weird. I mean, like, you put on a brave face, right? At the funeral home, you know, it's just another day, right? Just another day, and, you know, you put on your brave face and you smile and you shake hands and stuff like that, and but it's weird because then you get one last one last look, one last moment, and it's weird. It's you know, I put like in my case when it was my turn to go up there, I put a little handwritten note, you know, in my dad's suit pocket there. Yeah. I put it in there, and then it was weird because you talk to them, right? It's just, it's gonna happen to us all. It's gonna happen to you all. You know, you think it won't, but it will. So I put the little handwritten note in there. And then, you know, like I ran, because obviously, you know, they cut the hair and they make it look all nice, and, you know, so I ran my hands through my dad's hair there, and it kind of like brought me right back into, like, to being a kid, like a little kid, you know, when your dad's hugging you and you know, you got like a handful of hair and stuff. That's what it felt like. It was just so weird. And right there, it's like it like creeps in. It slowly creeps in that's the last time you're ever gonna do that, you know. And like, it's the last time you're ever gonna do that. It's the last time you're ever gonna see your dad. You physically. Yeah, no, like it fucks with you, but you still. I mean, because it's like, what are you gonna do? I feel pretty lucky. You know, I feel pretty lucky having had my dad for almost 40 years. I am 37 years old as I record this. I've had my dad for almost 40 years. I don't the last 8 years of my dad's life were unfortunately, 7 years, were unfortunately spent goddamn hospital and the fucking extended care there. That was the story of him. That's how his dash ended, you know. Mine is not gonna be anywhere. When I reach my dad's age, it's not gonna match up to that at all. It's gonna be very different. Yeah, no, I'm glad I'm glad I had like that much time with my dad though. You know, because some people they're orphaned like almost right away, you know, and they never get to know their parents at all. But you know, life goes on as it must, you know, and so that's why you know, you do what you gotta do, and you just try to, yeah, you're just trying to be the best person possible, and you know, fill that little line there, you know. I think my dad did okay, and yeah, if I could say something to him, it would be why did you ever marry that fucking cunt? Yeah, no, he knows. You know, he was well aware of our hatred for her. Else, it's all just another page, you know. So, what do you do after that? Well, turn the page, you know, and see what happens. You look pretty good without the foils in your hair.
Thanks, Andre.
Yeah, they're okay. So we're at the end of this thing, and I just want to end by saying, if you're out there watching this and you're lucky enough to still be able to call your mom or your dad, you should go ahead and do that now. But do that after the credits.
We were sailing on waves of silver, there were echoes in the wind. When we raised our sails to capture them, the ship was lifted up and then we sang, oh, 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 oh. Now the country that we came from, they play silver melodies, and the kings and queens all write their dreams on silver pages. We would read and we sing, oh, 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 oh. We will cross any water, and if we find there's a song that's getting stronger, we will sound all our silver songs, and we will know where they belong. Now the echoes were getting louder, and a chorus filled the air. When the voices fell, they broke the spell that tied us to our silver chairs, and we sang, oh, 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 oh. We were taken through the shadows, we were carried through the night. When the sun appeared, my God, my fears of silver melted in the light, and we saw the world with different eyes, and we sang,